Hey guys, what's going on? I'm back with another video. In this video here today, we're going to be resuming a series that I did for all of, pretty much last year and completely forgot about until this last week. Somebody actually sent me a message and asked me if I was still doing this series, and I totally forgot that I even did it. And I was, it's a series that I like doing. So we're going to do it again this season. So what this series is basically every week we go through all the football games. This is the NFL, American football games that are going on that week. We talk about them, I give predictions, and we just basically talk trash about sports for however long it takes. So last season I did, it was the first time I ever did it, so it didn't get a whole lot of views because I've never done that before. And so I kind of learned a few things that I remember now from doing it last season. One, some of those videos were way too long. It went on way too long. And also, like, I edited them, so I'd screw up, and then I'd have to, stop and edit it and cut out the parts where I screw up. It would take forever. So we're going to try to do it a whole lot faster and just kind of give you the hot takes, if you will, this year. So this is week 2. Obviously, I forgot to do it for week 1 because, like I said, I forgot I even did this series. We're going to start with week 2. Go through all the games going on this week, and then we will go from there. First game up this week. This is the Thursday night game. So tomorrow night we get the Houston Texans and the Cincinnati Bengals. Two teams that sucked in week 1. Cincinnati Bengals got completely embarrassed. Andy Dalton looked like a bum, played like a bum. Houston Texans, I thought, given the fact that they had a strong defense last season, what you would think was an improved quarterback situation this year, you'd figure they kind of had worked that out in the offseason. And also like the hurricane situation in Texas, you thought, they'd come out with something to prove, and for like J.J. Watt ran out with the Texas flag, and there was all of emotion and all that, and so you thought they'd kind of have a strong showing as a result of that, but no, these are two teams that got embarrassed in week 1, which is not really something anybody predicted, especially me. I thought the Texans would do pretty well. That's actually a team I'm looking forward to watching this season. I mean, I guess maybe not anymore. But, so one of the things about this game is because it's the Thursday night game and everybody thinks that the, Thursday night games are crap. I actually I'm probably like the only person that thinks this. I like Thursday night football because it, in football season, it makes the week go by faster, right? So you got, football on Sunday, you got Monday night football, right? So you get your Monday night football, Tuesday, Wednesday, go to work or whatever. And you can look forward to Thursday night football. So you watch Thursday night football. You wake up the next day and it's Friday. It's the weekend again. I think it works really well. I like it that way. The problem is that the matchups are garbage. That's what the problem is. It's not that the idea of football on Thursday night. It's that the games that they put on are crap. So a week ago you wouldn't have thought that this would have been the case. But the Texans and the Bengals, two teams that got embarrassed, are now playing each other. So it just kind of works out that, if these teams are crap, then that's the, which we'll see this season, then that's kind of the matchup that we're looking at. Also, one of the things that I kind of like is that you have people making these power rankings, so like week 1 power rankings based on how everybody did this week, which I think is the stupidest thing ever. Let me say why. I guess power rankings have been going on forever. You want to have an idea of where each team stands, and it kind of lets you, it's kind of something to talk about. But doing it after week 1, it makes sense before the season. You can kind of assess where you are going into the season. But after week 1, you see these radical realignments, like teams going from 20 to 32, 10 to 1. It's dumb. You know why? Because any team can have a fluke game, like one game where they happen to do really well, or the other team chokes, or they choke, or they don't have a good game, or they have an unbelievable game. But it's not how the team is. It's just the one game. Every team's got, at least one game that's like that. And some teams, it just happens to happen in week 1. So all of a sudden, everybody starts thinking they project what happens in one game over the whole season. Like it happened last year with the Vikings. Everybody thought we're going to get to the fight. Vikings were damn good the other night. Was it at night? I forget. Was it a night game or was it a day game? I don't know. No, whatever. I think it was a night game. Anyways, hold on, my monitor just shut off. Let me put this back on in my 4K screen. There we go. So if that happens in week 1, you can't project. Like, for instance, the Rams had a really good game. The Rams they're not good at playing football, this team. They just had a strong game. They put up a lot of points. That doesn't mean they're number 1. You know what I mean? Nobody put them in number 1. But still, you can't wait until week 2 to do your power rankings. Now you can see with the team that was good in week 1, now they played a couple of games. Did they do it again, or was it a fluke? You have to know that before you can actually start ranking teams. Otherwise, all your power ranking says is this is who played well in one game this week. It really doesn't tell you a lot. Anyways, next game Sunday, 1 o'clock, Cleveland Browns, Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens, if you watch them, I don't want to say they're back, but okay, they're back. The Baltimore Ravens played like the 2008 to 2014 Baltimore Ravens, like these scary, physical, in-your-face, hit them in the mouth, smash mouth, 3 yards in a pile of dust. I don't want to say Ray Rice, but Ray Rice, Ray Lewis. Physical, tough, gritty defense. It looks like it's back. It looks like it's back. It did, and that's something. At least in the AFC, you have to be if your team's in the AFC, you got to be scared of that because the Baltimore Ravens have derailed many a season in their time. So I think obviously the Patriots is the best example. I don't know how many years that they beat the Patriots in the playoffs there. Those actually happened to be years when there were a couple of years with I think when Tom Brady went out 2008. In 2009, I don't think the Patriots had a good team that year. Like pretty much the only year that's happened since Belichick and Brady have been there. They just have a good team. They got embarrassed in it was like the wild card game or divisional round or whatever. 2010, the Jets were doing well in the AFC. Jets and the Steelers. 2011 AFC Championship game, the Ravens and the Patriots. Patriots barely beat them. Anyways, the Ravens, they're that kind of team. They're always you can expect to see them come January, and it looks like that team is back. It's the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns, actually no, golf clap. Have improved from last season. The New York Jets are now the laughingstock of the NFL. So the Cleveland Browns, they used to hold that designation, but not anymore. It seems like they're not going that far. But the defense, it showed you something. They scored some points the last week. They're not, they're not great, but they're not in the garbage pile anymore. They're a little bit improved there. However, they got no chance against the Baltimore Ravens. So, by the way, the whole point of this is I have to give picks. So I've got Houston winning the last game we just talked about because the Bengals are crap this season, and then I got Baltimore winning this game, obviously. Next game, another 1 o'clock game, Buffalo Bills, Carolina Panthers. We really don't even need to talk about this one. Carolina Panthers are going to win. Carolina Panthers, whatever it was that they were, had up there, their took us last season. Seems like they've fixed that this season. So they had the, Super Bowl hangover is what people called it last season. It seems like they're looking a little bit better there. But really, this isn't about the Carolina Panthers. It's about the fact they're playing the friggin' Buffalo Bills. All right, they're going to beat the Buffalo Bills. Carolina, I got in this game. Next game, Arizona Cardinals, Indianapolis Colts. So the Indianapolis Colts, I want to make sure I don't screw this up. What was the score in this game? They got absolutely destroyed. The Indianapolis Colts lost 46-9 to the Rams. No, not the Patriots, not the Steelers, not the Seahawks. The Los Angeles Rams, who are coached by what's his name there? Is it still Jeff Fisher coaching that team? Colts. Let me just type this in. L.A. Rams. I just want to make sure. I don't want to start saying stuff that's not true. No, yeah, they got Sean McVay now. I thought so. I knew they had to get rid of him after last season. Jeff Fisher, not knowing what team players play for. What did he say last season was like Danny Woodhead he thought was still on the Patriots. He couldn't find his challenge flag in one of the games. The guy was a bum. Yeah, he's a bum. So anyways, that team, that's the team that blew out the Indianapolis Colts, who really, when you get blown out by the LA Rams, that tells you everything you need to know. Expect to see them plummet in the power rankings and kind of drop like a rock in that regard. At the same time, Arizona Cardinals, Carson Palmer played like garbage. All right, he played. Oh my! I don't know if you watched this game, but he can't. This guy can't carry the team anymore. Arm is shot. He just does not have what it takes. This guy. They're gonna make some kind of move, I would think, for him. I don't know who it is that they're gonna get. I mean. Yeah, I don't see what they're going to do, but that team's in trouble. So, anyways, but then again, they're better than the friggin' Colts. So I'm going to go with the Arizona Cardinals win this game. By the way, Chuck Pagano, he's losing his job this season. Like, literally 2 more games of that, this guy's gone. I mean, already going into this thing, there were a lot of questions about him. But, yeah, I got the Cardinals in this game. Next game, Jacksonville Jaguars, Tennessee Titans. So, For whatever reason, I always mix these teams up, the Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars, because they're just both AFC South, no-name, whatever teams. Jacksonville Jaguars, now that they got Tom Coughlin working for them now, it seems like they've kind of sorted some things out, I would say. It seems like they've got more of a program going on down there in Jacksonville. So I don't spend a lot of time following either of these teams, because nobody does. But they're 1-0. The Titans are 0-1. I'm going to base it off of that. In Jacksonville, they're showing something. They're showing you something this season. So I got Jacksonville Jaguars winning this game. Next game, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. So the Kansas City Chiefs beat the New England Patriots in the season opener in New England, which is a game I'm going to talk about because the next game I've got. The next game up is New England and New Orleans. So we'll talk about that. Was more about the Patriots than the Chiefs. But Kansas City Chiefs, I mean, you got to remember, Andy Reid manages the clock like I don't know, just insert any bad coaching example that you want there. But, this guy, we know, he's got all his motions, we're like, ghost motions and, motion the running back over here. We're going to motion, Travis Kelce on the outside, get him in motion, move this guy, move the running back over there. I get the running back to come back over here, audible to this, switch to play action. Okay, move this guy over here, put the receiver out wide. Okay, bring the receiver in, put him in the slot, put the tight end out wide. He just motions guys spends like the whole play clock doing this. And also, this guy manages the clock, abhorrently, like his whole career from, the Super Bowl that he was in with the Eagles until, AFC divisional game a couple of years ago till now. Not strong clock management on Andy Reid's part. With that in mind, and not just clock management, but he's a good coach. He's been around a long time for a reason. But with the motioning and the game management and some of the decisions, you'd expect them to in the fact that it's week 1 against the Patriots, you'd expect them to lose. The Kansas City Chiefs, I mean, I don't want to say they didn't blow out the Patriots. It wasn't really blow. I think the Chiefs, if you watch that game, which was the last Thursday night's NFL kickoff, the season opener, I think the Chiefs could have just as easily gotten blown out in that game because they came out, they fumbled right away. The Patriots recovered, went down, scored a touchdown, got up a couple of scores. And that's typically where teams playing the Patriots just fall apart, as with the Chiefs. However, the Patriots, which I'm going to save this for the next, that's the next game. Well, let's save it for then. Anyways, the Chiefs had a strong showing, strong physical team. Tyreek Hill, Eric Berry, who's now done for the season, had an amazing game. He shut down Rob Gronkowski. Tyreek Hill lighting up the field. Alex Smith looks like not Alex Smith. He looks like a pretty good quarterback. The Chiefs are something this season. I would put them at number 1 in the power rankings right now. The Chiefs are a football team. Philadelphia Eagles, on the other hand, Carson Wentz, kid can ball. He can ball, that kid. I don't care what anybody says. He can ball. Philadelphia Eagles looks like they figured a few things out. From last season compared to the 2015. I think they showed you something last season before the wheels kind of came off the wagon at the end. And it seems like that's kind of carrying over into this season. I like what that team's doing. However, it's not going to be enough to stop the Kansas City Chiefs. Therefore, I have the Chiefs beating the Eagles. Next game up, New England Patriots, New Orleans Saints. Like I was just saying about the Patriots there. So the Patriots were expected to go undefeated this season, which that was over in week 1. They lost. The Patriots have not gone 0-2. And, the last time they went 0-2 was 2001 was the last time they started 0-2. Yeah, so they were, Tom Brady's on the cover of Madden. They're going to go 19-0, undefeated team, greatest team ever. They're stacked. All this stuff going into the season about the Patriots. And they lose in week 1 on the night they're, putting the banner up and celebrating and everything. They lose to the Chiefs, the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, it'd be one thing if it was like Denver or somebody like that. I mean, I can understand the teams that they have a problem with, but then again, it's a home opener, so it'll be in New England. But they lost to the Chiefs. So what I think happened with the Patriots, this is what I think happened. First of all, if you watched the game, it was the only game on that night. So, of course, it was the first game of the season. Everybody was watching it. What I think happened was I don't have any problems with the Patriots on offense. That offense is stacked. It is scary. At the beginning of the game, they were moving. He's got more weapons, than you could ever want. especially like the preseason game 3 against the Lions. Yeah, against the Lions, which is like the dress rehearsal. So every team, they treat week 3 like it's the real deal. That's like if you follow the New York Giants, I think that was the week where Odell Beckham Jr. He got hurt there. It was almost a serious injury. He actually missed week 1 because of it. It's like that. I think it was that week. It's like the week 3 dress rehearsal game. I think it was week 3 for the Giants. They played the Lions and they came out, like it took them like a minute to score. They went right down the field. So it's scary offense, right? That's not a problem. People are criticizing Tom Brady. His first play of the game, he overthrew somebody. I don't even know who. I don't know who it was that they got, but I wouldn't blame him either. It's the defense. Here's what it is. It's the defense. And it's not that they don't. It's people saying like they don't have the personnel or they don't. Their cornerback situation's all right. Safety's all right. It's the D-line. The Patriots D-line, which is not. Who do they got? They got Coney Ealy. He's on the Jets now, I think. He was gone. He didn't work out. They got what's his name? Lawrence Guy. They got play. It's not like people are injured. It's not like that's what the problem is. I think there's a lack of talent on their D-line. That's almost too strong. They need a couple of more guys. They need an edge rusher and they need another linebacker. That's what they need. So, like you saw how many times in that game the Chiefs, that option that they would run, the shovel pass to Travis Kelce. How many times did they do that? Like a pitch toss, almost like basically a shovel pass to the outside. They ran that play. I don't know how many times because the Patriots they couldn't stop it. So it's the D-line. If you can't bring pressure, it puts too much pressure on your cornerbacks to cover. And everything just kind of goes downhill from there. So I think it's their D-line. And they didn't look, and they kind of packed it in at the end of that game, which I think is a result of, you can tell that they have the talents, like the players are out there. It seemed like it was a problem with communication, just a problem with coaching. Like they weren't on the same page. That's an expression I've heard, like on ESPN, First Take, and like all those other stupid shows. I think I've heard that expression many times now about the Patriots. They look like they weren't on the same page. So the talent's there. They just got to practice a little bit more and get on the same page. Tom Brady was pissed after that game. And so that was kind of the Patriots week 1. New Orleans Saints week 1. Another team that lost in week 1 here. So if you watched that game, which was against the Vikings, I believe, on Monday night. So again, keep in mind the Saints are on a short week coming into this game, whereas the Patriots have had like 3 extra days to rest because they played last Thursday. And it's in New Orleans. So the Saints, I'd say it was you could tell because it's actually ironic. They traded Brandon Cooks, who's their best receiver, I would argue, to the Patriots. So now he's going to face his own team. Speaking of facing your old team, Adrian Peterson went to the Saints. Now he's playing against his old team, the Vikings. I mean, I don't know what you thought about him. He was like yelling at Sean Payton. He wants to be in the game. That's what you get with these diva running backs. I don't know why. I mean, and that's putting aside what Adrian Peterson, like his whole thing he did with his kid that wasn't right, which I would have never signed the guy just because of that. But I mean, they put him in the game, didn't do a whole lot, on the few plays he was in there. And also not having Brandon Cooks had a small effect on the offense. The Saints are a team, they can only win if they can like score 50 points. Like they beat teams 41-39. You know what I mean? So if they can't do that, then they're in trouble. Which I don't really know how you fix that because it seems like it's a personnel thing. They just don't have the bodies on defense to stop teams, and their offense is not quite as hot this year as you'd like to see. But, other than that, there weren't many problems. It's just they, went up against a really good defense in the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings, I mean, if you remember, the Minnesota Vikings, the first few games of last season were really good. Like, they were number 1 in the power rankings for a couple weeks, and then they just, and I thought that's, like, overrated. That's just inflated. Like, they're not really that good. Come on. They just got, they did well a couple of weeks, and then everything kind of fell apart for them. But that defense is legit. The Minnesota Vikings defense was legit, and it really gave the Saints problems. So anyway, and then that was the Saints in week 1. So I got the Patriots win this game. I'll tell you why. if you're a Patriots fan, you almost kind of need to be glad that the Patriots lost, because if they won, they can just kind of, yeah, well, we won, right? You don't really have to make adjustments. When you lose in week 1 the way they did to the Chiefs, you have to look yourself in it's sobering. You have to look yourself in the mirror, go out there, practice, figure out. You know, Bill Belichick knows all this stuff. He's been coaching forever. He's got all these, Super Bowl rings. They know this. And Tom Brady, he was pissed. Everybody was pissed. And so the Patriots are going into this game. The New England Patriots are not going 0-2 for the first time since 2001. That's just not happening. All right, it's not going to happen. So the Patriots have something to prove. They're going into this game. I'm telling you right now. If they're not, then all bets are off. But they're going into this game like, they're out for blood in this game. I'm telling you right now. And they have the weapons to really put up some points. I got the Patriots winning this game. I know there's a lot there. It's just because we're talking about the Chiefs and the Saints and they were like trades and all kind of work together there. We're already at 20 minutes now. It's going on longer than I wanted, but good news is I don't have to edit this because I haven't made any mistakes up until this point. But yeah, that's all. They're kind of all like blended together there. But you get the idea. So I got the Patriots win this game. Next game, Minnesota Vikings, Pittsburgh Steelers. Both teams are 1-0. We gotta speed this up. I got the Vikings winning this game. The Vikings defense is legit. The Pittsburgh Steelers are a team that needs to win with Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown. If the Vikings can play defense the way they did against the Saints, which are another team with an explosive offense, if they can shut that down, it'll be a low-scoring, close game where I think the Vikings are going to win. The Vikings win this game. Next game, Chicago Bears, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Got the heck out of here. Tampa Bay didn't play. It's right, because of the hurricane. They didn't play. Yeah, I got Tampa Bay winning this game. I mean, it's the friggin' Bears. I mean, come on. Next game, Miami Dolphins, Los Angeles Chargers. Dolphins, again, because the hurricane did not play. I got the Dolphins winning this game. They're better than the stupid Chargers. Actually, no. The Chargers almost beat Denver. By the way, the Chargers are a team. The Chargers need to win an award for almost beating teams. Like the most close losses I've ever seen. Like last season, pretty much the whole season. Where did they go? Like 8-8 or something, or 9-7. The Chargers last season. They could have just as easily gone 11-5. I mean, there were some really close losses that they had. But a loss is a loss, and then the same thing happened. So I mean, they hung in with Denver. It was Denver Monday Night Football in Denver. That guy Sergio Dip, the ESPN sideline reporter, just crapped his pants on the sidelines there. Everybody was making fun of that online. I remember watching it during the game and rewinding it because I wasn't sure, what was going on. And then I remember he had like a post on YouTube or something yesterday, talking about he should have just played it off, I was nervous or whatever. But instead, he made it this serious thing, which was just bizarre. It was really bizarre. Anyways, we're getting off track. So the Chargers, they hung with Denver. I mean, Denver's the team. It's loud. It's high altitude. It's really loud. That's a team that you just don't score. But the Denver's offense, Trevor Siemian, he can play. He's not really unbelievable. He can do the job they need him to do. I mean, their whole team's their defense. Von Miller and company there. But the Chargers weren't intimidated. I mean, they're in the AFC West too. They play them, twice this season. And if they go to the both teams go to the playoffs, maybe 3 times, really twice. I mean, both of these teams aren't. Denver and the Chargers aren't both going to the playoffs. But, so it's a team that wins on defense and with their altitude and their crowd noise and all that. But the Chargers weren't intimidated by those things. They hung with them. And I think that's a more resilient team than the Miami Dolphins. All right, the Miami Dolphins, there were some clowns on this. You got, what's his name? Dominican Sue. You got, whoever it was that said they're going to beat the Patriots twice on the Dolphins said this. However, Adam Gase, I like what he does. He's serious attitude. He's a football coach, and I think that's what that team needed, and they improved last season. I think they won the playoffs last season, or almost did, or something like that. I got the Chargers winning this game. I think being able to go toe to toe with the Dolphins is a little the Dolphins with Denver shows you something. And Miami hasn't played the game yet. So, anyways, that's who I got. New York Jets, Oakland Raiders. Let's not spend 2 seconds talking about that. Oakland Raiders are blowing the doors off the New York Jets. You kidding me? Next game. I'm tuning in for this one. This is the game. Actually, no, there's another game I'm going to watch, which I'll tell you about in a minute. This game here, Dallas Cowboys, Denver Broncos. Yep. All right, I want to see Ezekiel Elliott, who I don't know how he got off. I really don't know how this guy just got off his suspension. No idea. Must have bribed the judge or something. I don't know. Ezekiel Elliott, Dak Prescott, the whole Cole Beasley, the whole little, powder blue Dallas Cowboys. By the way, if you can't already tell, I don't like the Dallas Cowboys. I like that team's up. I mean, the whole team's criminals. It's unbelievable how many, it's free Ezekiel Elliott now. You get, Greg Hardy. Just keep going on the list. It's a mile long. That whole thing. Jerry Jones. Just the fans, the whole thing. Can't stand that team. Denver, I can say some of the same things about the fans, the altitude, the whole little thing they got going on there. Which is why I like seeing both of these teams play each other, because it's perfect. They were meant for each other. So basically what I'm saying is I want to see Denver's defense against Dallas's offense. I got Denver winning this game because that defense, think about what Denver did to the Carolina Panthers. They frustrated Cam Newton. They hit him. They got in his face. That whole, because the Panthers of 2015 and the Cowboys is like the same, flashy, showboating, annoying thing, right? And the Denver Broncos are like the perfect hard-nosed physical defense to completely shut down a team that's like that, which I love. I love when a cocky team just gets beat, which I think is going to happen here. It's going to be a close game. You can make the argument Dallas is going to win. Dallas has a better offense. Denver's defense, though, it's legit. It's a legit defense. It has been for several years now. So, I got Denver winning this game. They're going to shut down the Cowboys. Next game, LA Rams, Washington Redskins. I mean, yeah, that was a fluke week one. I got the Redskins winning this game. The Rams aren't nothing. San Francisco 49ers, Seattle Seahawks. Get out of here. It's the Seahawks. And the next game, the game I want to see most of all, if not for Dallas, Denver, the Green Bay Packers and the Atlanta Falcons. Both 1-0. Both strong week ones. Both teams played each other in the playoffs last season. Atlanta won, of course. Let's talk about the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers, they needed to reload in the offseason. Everybody was banged up. Got Martellus Bennett, straightened out the defense. They got tooled up. I guess you could say that about the Green Bay Packers. Which is exactly what they needed, and it showed when they I don't know why I can't remember. I know that they won. I can't remember who it was that they was it the Giants? I think they played it was the Giants. Let me check. No, it was the Seahawks. All right, I get those two teams confused. Yeah, they played the Seahawks. The Seahawks have a scary defense. Last season was kind of It's still not quite what it was in 2013 and 14. But that's a legit defense that they went. I mean, it wasn't a high scoring game. They only scored 17 points. I think some of the points were in garbage time at the end of the game. But hey, beating the Seahawks is beating the Seahawks. So, and especially given the problems that the Packers had last season, that was legit. Yep, it was legit. It's a legit team, this Packers team. Do I think they're going to have success this season? 11-5, 12-4. That's what I'm feeling for this Packers team. They're going to make some of the same mistakes that they made last season. I think they're going to start. Because remember last season they took the first half of the season off and then had to win out and then actually did. They called, Aaron Rodgers called the shot there. And then, where they go, 10-6 or something like that. So I feel like they're going to, get on this hot streak at the beginning of the season. It's like, oh, look, we fixed it. We're good. And start slacking off again, get some losses, and then lose in the playoffs to the Cowboys or the Giants or somebody like that. So it's improved, but it's still, they're not, I don't see them beating the Falcons because, I don't see the Packers beating the Falcons in this game. I just don't. The Falcons, I think, are still, after the Panthers the Panthers with their Super Bowl hangers, so they got embarrassed by the Denver Broncos in Super Bowl 50, which was in 2015. So the 2015 season they came, just terrible. Which was 2016 season. I got my years screwed up. Super Bowls in early 2016. But the 2016 season, last season, Panthers were garbage. ultimate Super Bowl hangover there because of what happened there. And I think with that example in mind, the Falcons aren't going to repeat that. I think if you read the Players Tribune, Matt Ryan wrote about how basically, they're not, they're aware that happens and they're not going to do that. They won last week. So I don't see it happening. I think they're going to, I think they'll beat the Packers. It'll be a close game, but I see them winning. Finally, Detroit Lions, New York Giants. New York Giants lost week 1. They really looked lost without Odell Beckham. I don't know, is he coming back this week? Odell Beckham. If you watch ESPN at all, they should change the name of ESPN to the Odell Beckham Jr. channel because that's all they really care about. Odell Beckham Jr., this is what came up when I Googled Odell Beckham Jr., hits the dance floor at some club in New York, but he's got a sprained ankle, which this is what you get with these diva receivers. I can't stand them. They're overrated. So if he's dancing, he better be playing. Otherwise, I would cut him so fast. I would have cut him a long time ago. He's a bum, even though he's got some good hands. The New York Giants deserve him. They totally deserve, just such a, New York team. That's what you get. Yeah, when you get these players that go, and it's not just the Giants, but really any New York sports team, it's not really a problem with the Yankees because the Yankees' whole, MO was clean cut and we're the Yankees and all that. But, like the Knicks, the Mets, the Jets, both of those, the Mets and the Jets rhyme and they're both garbage. Isn't that interesting? Anyways, you get, some players, you get these young players coming out of college, go to New York, and, the clubs and all that, they, sometimes they go off the deep end a lot of the time. So the Giants deserve Odell Beckham Jr. They deserve, whoever was the guy who shot himself in the foot? Who was it? It was a Plaxico Burress. They deserve that. That's who they get out there. Same thing as the Cowboys. Jerry Jones deserves he deserves the Ezekiel Elliott problems. That's who he gets on his team. He deserves it. Yeah, but assuming he's going to play this week, if he's dancing, I assume he's all right. They're going to beat the Detroit Lions. I don't see them going 0-2. If they go 0-2, then they're done for the season because they're lost. And then that'll do it. That'll actually do it for this week, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit a like, comment, subscribe, sort of thing. This is over half an hour now. I was hoping this wouldn't take this long. I guess I had a lot to say. I'm so glad I don't have to edit this video because I never messed up, which is amazing, if you can believe that. So I'm gonna upload this right now. And then that'll be that. But those are my week 2 predictions for football. Let me know what you think, and I'll do that. Until next time, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching.